Guys, welcome back. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's a new week and back to normal here. So I'm kind of, I don't know, kind of in a Valentine mood, trying to get into spring and Valentine's and work a season beyond what we're in now. So I'm going to do two mokume ganes, but I wanted to try something different on one of them. So I've got really small squares because I don't know how it's going to turn out. So this way I'm safe either way. So what I'm using is cad red. I'm using cad red mixed with white to give me kind of like a dark pink. I'm using the Premo pale pink. I'm using some white. I am using pearl mixed with white just to make it a little more white. I don't know if I'm going to go with the white. And a bunch of translucent for in between. So we have 4 set up. I'm going to put these on the side for another one. So I'm making 2. One's going to be with silver, one's going to be with gold. So we're going to put those over here. And same with these. We're just going to move them over. I should have one more pink. Okay. And I'll put the dark pink over there. And we're going to put 4 whites over there. Okay. As far as translucent, everything is cut as a number 5. The translucent is a 2. Just to give it a little bit of depth in here. So we're just going to go and stack them all up. And I'm going to grab some silver foil. And I'm going to grab some gold foil here. Okay, I'm not sure what just fell down, but something fell down. I'm going to add some pink. Another translucent. Add some gold. I'm going to do a red again. A translucent and a dark pink. And a translucent. Let's try a white. This is the pearl. Okay, I'm missing something because I only made 4 of the pearls. Oh, I used 2 whites. Okay, so I had to use white and not even thrown any pearl in there. So we're going to add a light pink right there. Another translucent. Going to add a red. I think I'm going to take one of these whites out and add a pearl instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go red, translucent, and pearl. I'll add a little bit more foil. I'm going to put that on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to add another translucent. And I'm going to go dark pink. And then I'm going to go white, translucent, and red. And let's see, we can do a couple more translucents. I'm going to add a pearl. A light pink, gold. I'm going to do a white and a dark pink. We'll add translucent. And we're going to go light pink, pearl, dark pink. Okay. That's a big sandwich right there. Okay, so we're going to do that one. And then on this one, I'm going to add silver. And this one we're going to cut a little bit different. So I always start with the dark on the bottom. So we're going to go translucent. I'm going to go white. I'll do a light pink. Translucent. Some silver. We'll do a dark pink. Translucent and a red. I'm going to add a pearl. And then I'll do translucent, a little more silver, a dark pink. I'm going to do a standard white. Translucent, dark pink, another pearl, translucent, put a red in here, a regular white, do a pearl, a light pink, a regular white, a translucent. I ran out of silver. Okay, we have another red. It's been a while since we used a red. So we're going to go red, translucent, pearl, pink, pearl pink. Oop, there's a translucent pink. Okay, that one's crap. So we'll go silver, white, and pink. Alright, so we had an extra pink. Okay, so we're going to do both of these on their own. So let's do the gold first. And this is going to be just a standard mokume gane. It actually ends up making a nice sized block. Pick up all that silver. Okay, so with this we're going to cut in half. If you want your lines thicker, you don't have to cut them in half. Okay, so that's what we got right there. I'll have to show you some canes I bought. I'm sure everybody knows Eye Candy Clay, Ivy Niles. She's got such cute canes. And she had to take a trip, I guess, to Arizona to visit family, but wasn't quite sure how she was going to make it, so she kind of had to sail to get her there. So I bought a bunch of canes. I don't know how to use them. I mean, I see her work and it's absolutely gorgeous, but I'm not quite sure how to use the canes themselves, so I'm gonna have to figure that out this week. Okay, so we've got just our little block, and we're gonna go a little different, I think, this time. I don't think I'm gonna use any of my circle cutters. So on this one, we're just going to, I don't know, add some dots here. I do like using my cutters though, because it helps. I was thinking of like a dull blade or something. So we're going to put a triangle today, right? We're just going to kind of make little areas here. What can I do right there in the center? How about a square? A square right down the middle, but I don't have any really small cutters for squares, so we're going to use a circle instead. And we're just going to do that. Okay, oop. We definitely need that to go back in. Okay, I gotta find something to get this out without sticking another hole in it, which I already did on the top, which will just add to the design. Okay, and then you can use a credit card or the other side of your blade and just kind of, let's see how I want to do this. Let me see if I have something thicker. How about an envelope box? It's right next to me, so I figured we'll just use what I've got nearby. I don't think this is really the perfect thing to use. It's not really sturdy, but I have no credit cards. I have nothing in front of me here, so it's just gonna have to work. Okay, and then I'm gonna put something like right there. Alright, so we're just going to leave that just as that is. So the unfortunate part is, if you want more variation or design in it, you want to put a lot of stuff in there. If not, you're going to have like all these big pieces right here coming out in like a solid color. So this is why I kind of like putting in all kinds of weird shapes. So we're going to do this again, but we're going to use whatever cutters that I have right here, because it doesn't matter what you use. All I'm trying to do is break them up. I don't know if I want that in there. Alright, so we're just going to kind of slice it and see if I've got enough in there. I'm gonna try and make this a little smaller. Yeah, I need to find some really teeny tools or something. See, now this would be pretty too if you wanted to use your side like this, which is what we're going to do on the other one, I think. But you'll get these really nice striations, which would make some really pretty stuff. So you can do that if you want. And to make them taller for earrings, you can just take your square and push it up. But I'm going to pull off this top and just see what it looks like here. And then I'm going to put it right back. Okay, see, I like that. Okay, so those are going to look really cool. So I'm going to leave that alone. Although, I don't know why, because that I can still use. Okay, so that's that one. And as you can see, you've got some of the gold flake. When you do it this way, for some reason, you don't get a whole lot of gold flakes that come out. So let's go ahead and do this one the different way. And then, I don't know, we'll make a little veneer here and make some earrings out of them. So I think the colors worked really well together. So overall happy so far. This is probably the most easiest technique out there, and it's always so versatile. And the fact that you don't have to be perfect in your doing this. If you got colors that stick out, it really doesn't matter. Okay, and I always like to make sure that I don't finish with the same color as the bottom. So if you put red on the bottom, don't put red on the top, because regardless, when you split them up, you're going to get a really thick piece of red in there. Unless you want a thicker color in the center, you can do that. But I try not to finish with the same color on both sides. And I don't know if I did on that one. Nope, I didn't. Okay. I did cut these already, right? Yes, I did. Okay, so we're just going to do that a little more. I did cut this one in half, right? Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I did. I had to go back in the video and make sure I did, because I didn't want to cut it up a third time. Okay, so now we're going to do what we did before, and we're going to put this right back into a square. And this is also going to help make like little striations by pushing it right back in. Okay, so this one I don't want any holes. I made this design yesterday on some black and white ones, which turned out really well. Because what I wanted to do was make like a gemstone. Okay, so on this one, all we're going to do is push in. And we're just going to kind of do different ways of pushing it. But no little dots, no nothing. I just want to do it this way. But I was trying to make agate. And I didn't want to use any dots or anything like that, which actually, no, it wouldn't have looked like agate. It turned out really nice. But unfortunately, it's really hard to resin black and white because it dulls the white like that. So I love using black and white, but on something like that you really need to buff. And I didn't. Alright, and I gotta take a quick break. I've got a couple more orders for the day. So they just finished, so let me get those out of the house and I will be right back. Alrighty guys, sorry about that. But we are back. And where did we leave off? We left off by squishing this all up, but we're not done. We're going to squish it some more. And as you can see, I'm going all the way down without actually going through it. Okay. I'm going to come in off the side right here. Okay, so we got like this huge mess, right? But that's it. So now, so I'll show you why I did this technique to make the gemstone. Yeah. which I think you can probably see anyways, just by looking at it. So we're gonna, excuse me, got the hiccups. Let me go ahead and cut into this, and of course, you know me, I lose everything even when it's in front of me. Okay, but by doing it that way, instead of cutting from the top like you normally would, I would usually put it on its side and I'd cut from top to bottom. This I'm cutting from top to bottom, but I'm going this way instead of horizontal. And it kind of helps you get kind of like a, I don't know, like a geode look. You know, I was trying to go for agate. And so that's what it ends up being when you do it that way. So that way you got your striations. I didn't like the black and white that I made, just because of the resining factor. It just turns everything so dingy. But if I did this correctly, I will get some really cute little tiny squares, and believe it or not, circles, even though we didn't use any tool except for that knitting needle. Okay, so now normally we're going to do the regular way. I'm just going to cut a piece off. Okay, so that's what you get when you just use a knitting needle. So you can see the difference. Not much, huh? And this was putting holes and all kinds of stuff in there. This, we didn't do that. So we're going to go ahead and slice a couple of these up. I'm going to see if I have any heart tools. And we make some hearts with this. We can make anything with this stuff. Yeah, I don't know why I'm even thinking about putting this back together, but I want to make sure my slices are even this time. Because as you already know, we have problems with slicing. So we're going to pull this out. I'm just going to cut a couple of slices. And then I'll come back and show you what these look like with resin on them. I wish these came like mechanical, to where you press a button and it would do this for you. Number two, this is why I kind of made it small. It's just because I don't want to use too much. Alright, so we're going to tighten that up right there. Oop, a little too tight. And I like these thin. It may be too soft. We'll see that in a minute. It's a little soft and a little sticky, so but it sure makes it a lot easier. I've worked so long without one, though, that sometimes I forget I even own one of these. We got 4. Let's see if we can do 2 more or 3 more. That's 1. Oh, unfortunately, that's as far as it wants to go. So there's a little nut on here. I may have to take the nut out. there's a couple things. If I owned this machine or it was my design, I would probably make a few different changes on it. I know with a mechanicized this, it would be a lot more expensive, but we're coming right to the end here, so we might only get one more cut out of it. Oh, yeah, we may not get any cuts out of it. Okay, well, we'll do that by hand. We have 6 even cuts, so I'm okay with that. And now we're going to bring this one back. We're getting closer to our giveaway of one of these. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully next month will be the day to do this. Yeah, so if you do this, you might want to just, my dog gave me a little moan right there. Leach the clay a little bit. And that way it should glide right through that a little bit easier. Try and do one more or 2 more. See how lucky I feel. Alright, that's about all I'm going to get. So that's the end piece of that. And we'll see if that was a mistake not separating them as I went. Nope. So you got 2 different designs. Wow, I really like this one. I like them both. But just the amount of different shapes that it gave me just by using the knitting needle was pretty cool. Not to say these aren't cool. These are going to make some really cool earrings. I like those. And let's do one, because we're going to show you another thing as well. So we're just going to kind of set all of these next to each other. Okay. Gonna make a nice little veneer with that. This one I'm gonna try cut a little piece. If I can fill up this corner, that would be awesome. Keeping the red on the outside because I don't want to use that red. Yeah, it's pretty soft. Okay, so we'll just play with this for a little bit. These are a little bigger chunks. Okay, so we're going to put those together. And then we're going to put these together. Always check your sides. Oh, I like that one. And you could even, if you don't want to put it in a veneer and you already have an earring shape, you can literally just make sure that it's long enough for your earring and just press it out like that. Okay, this I'm going to put towards the end just because it's so big. That was that one. This one, I'm going to use that towards the side. So like the ones with the bigger pattern, I'm going to put over here, and I'm probably just going to focus on those. Okay, I'm going to do the same with this one. Try really hard to cut this. I don't know. I think I may just get rid of that one and leave it just like that. Okay, so this we'll use for something else. We got two of them, so we might be able to use that for something. So I'm going to go ahead and squish all this down, make a veneer, and I'll come right back. Alrighty, so we came back with some shapes. Oops, I don't know how I got foil on that one, but that's okay. And we're just going to cut out some really cool shapes here. This one's got a lot more smaller items here. Now, I didn't put the backing on it. I don't know if I'm going to use the backing yet. So we're going to see how this looks without a backing. And another fun thing that you can do is you can add like a bottom piece to this, which I'll show you in a second. I want to make sure I'm not anywhere in the cutter. I wish I had just a little more of this area right here. Okay. I just want to see what the other side looks like. If it looks good, then I will just leave it like this. And this I'll find something to do with. Get a couple different shapes. So these are really nice on the other side. So I may just leave it the way they are. I don't really like the backings of that. These I don't have a problem with. So let me get a tray or a tile. Now, if you put this on cardstock, it would be a lot better. Because that way you won't get that funky design. Or, I have this out just in case, which I'm probably going to do it because I'm not real happy with some of the backs on these. So you know what would be cool to put on these is, boy, I haven't done this in a long time, but when I was younger, I used to get a lot of Avon nail polishes, and they would have these foils, not as thin as your silver leaf and your gold leaf. They were just really nice thick foils. And it was cool because they were just like thin, maybe an eighth, maybe even a 1/16. And I would paint my nails like a red for Christmas. And then I would add a strip of the gold or silver or whatever color I had. And I'd put it like sideways on my nail. Those were the years when I actually had nails that grew. Not so true anymore. But it was really cool for Christmas. And I'm wondering if you can still buy them, because I think it would look really cool if you cut these in half. Oh, you know what? You probably could do it and just add gold paint, like if you have a gold paint marker. Maybe I'll do that on a couple of them. Okay, so I'm going to cut these two in half because I want to turn these over, just so I can put a little bit of texture on the bottom. And that red was at a number 5. I want these thin. Not too thin, but I want them thin enough because I'm going to add a coat of resin on them. God, I'm sorry. This was a cleaned workspace this morning. Okay, so we're going to get those nice. Okay. Oh, I really love those. Those turned out really nice. Okay, make sure you're getting all sides. This is the one I always mess up on. Okay, so now we've got a nice backing on the back. So either way would work. If you're happy with the pattern on the back, you really don't need to back it. But if you're not and you want it to look a little cleaner, then go ahead and put a backing on it. All right, so we're going to do this one. And then I might make a couple the way I was talking about. We'll try that on the next one, I think. So this is the one I've already used. Okay, she's just going to line it up. And then we have 2 of these. Oop, and they're backwards. And upside down here. And if you do put a backing, make sure you kind of stretch these out so that they're a little bigger than what it was when you never touched it. And that way when you cut it out, they'll secure really good and they'll actually go all the way across. Okay, so with these, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to do 2 here. We'll do the small one. Yeah, we'll take the corner right here. Although I probably could have started on that corner, but I'm not. So let's try this first. And then we're going to make this as thick as those, which I think is probably around a number 2. Yep, okay. I'm going to cut that out as well. So I'm making sure that I have an even amount on the bottom. That looks a little higher. Why does that one look so much higher than the other one? I really don't want to do this, but I'm going to. And I'm just going to cut about right there. And I'm going to do this one as well. Thinking it's about right there. And you can save those. Actually, I could have used those with the top, but I didn't. Okay, so now we're going to cut this again. We're going to make this a number 5. It's nice, it's a solid color because I don't have to worry about how I place them. Now for a solid color, these work great, what I'm about to do. But I've never tried it with a pattern. And I don't have any of that foil. I don't know if it would be in scrapbooks. Okay, but what you can do, I'm going to go ahead and cut this right in half. Might be easier. Okay, you would take the gold foil or the gold marker and just set it right across the top. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to make sure that these are nice. It's like the only paper I have has writing on the back. And if you have an inkjet printer, you don't want to put anything that's printed down on your clay because you could take the image right off of the paper. But I need a bigger strip, so we're just going to do this. Okay, you could add some texture onto the bottom part of this as well. I still have the texture on the back. Alright, so now we're going to cut that out. And we're not going to use the marker until it comes out of the oven. Okay. Another thing you can do is you can take gold foil, which really works good on a solid piece. Oops, I don't know what I did there. I kind of marred that up a little bit. I think I might have a sample. I do. This is an old one. Okay, I don't really care for the... That was Cernet translucent, believe it or not. But you could also do that and just put the gold... Just put gold leaf right here across the top. But I'm just going to use a regular pen on this one, I think. Alright, so we're going to bake that up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some shapes in for that. Throw it in the oven, and I will come back and we'll put it a couple bails or something on it, and we'll make a couple pairs of earrings. So I'll see you in a little bit. Alrighty, so we are back. I just want to show you everything coming out of the resin machine, which is just a UV lamp. I just couldn't get that word out at the moment. So these are what we ended up with. And these were the shapes that we did. So I will basically just put a jump ring in air and have them hung. So this is, I still got to clean out the inside. Sorry about that. I didn't do that before I turned the camera on. I love the ovals. or the cameo shape. I think those are really pretty. And I found this shape, and I have it online, and I didn't even realize it, but I found the cutter for them. I'm like, oh, those look really cool. So we've got some of those. And then you saw these. And the scalene triangles. But I really like how it kind of does look like agate. I'm not sure which one. I think the gold one was the regular way of doing it. But usually with agate, the band is always, it's always one side. It's not like, I don't know. I feel like it all goes in one direction while these do not. And then I just have a couple daggers. And then this one I was telling you about where you can just separate them with paint. Unfortunately, I didn't have a paint marker with gold. So I ended up using something else. So I'm going to have to put another coat on it. But you can always separate it like that. But they just look funky like that to me. I've seen people, obviously, where they cut it in half like that and they'll put one color. But I don't know. I can look at everybody's stuff and it looks fantastic. And then my stuff, I can never seem to get it to look pretty. But the ink I use for that is something called Ultimate Paint by Colorful Soul. I got these at Joann's, and they were on clearance. And this is just a Victorian gold, but it's permanent to metal, wood, leather, resin, and more. And it cleans up with water. It's just a really cool, yeah, it's just like a mica powder paint, and it comes in a million different colors. I think I got it in purples and blues and greens, but it's really thin. I mean, really thin, but it's got some really pretty colors to it. So if you're ever in Joann's, check it out. I don't know if it went on clearance, which is why I got it on sale, or if they still carry these in stock. I don't know if they have a website, but there is something that I wanted to use this for, which was the reason I bought it, and I just haven't done it yet. So we're going to do some of that, and I think we're going to experiment a little bit next week. I do have an idea, and unfortunately that idea has slipped my mind right now, of something that I really wanted to try. Oh, I know what it is. So you guys know how I've been cleaning out, and I'm constantly cleaning out, and I found something that I bought when I first started with polymer clay. And I have yet to use it. I have yet to try it. But I have all of these. And they're basically nail art. I guess they're just like like transfer paper for you put on your nails and stuff. So I want to try and put these on polymer clay. And I'm very intimidated by it, which is probably why I haven't done it yet. But I got a lot of cool different patterns, and I love paisleys, and especially paisleys on clay is really pretty. There's some mandalas. Let's just pull out this one because it's so colorful. But the problem is once you get these out, I can never get them back in. But I mean, I just love the patterns here. So I would like to see if I can get these on polymer clay. So what I'm probably going to do within the next day or two is bake up a bunch of shapes. And I'm going to do it baked instead of unbaked. I think it'd be a little bit easier. It's just finding the glue, I think. And these are just some dream catchers. We've got roses. So this is all like a silver. I don't think that would make a really good nail art, but there's a bunch of different ones in here. There's like roses, there's sayings and stuff. So I thought we'd have fun and try and see if we can get those together. So I will see you in a few days, hopefully. It's another crazy weekend. I think all the way until Christmas, it's just going to be a little busy here. We've got concerts. I'm going to a concert in 2 weeks. Actually, a week from this Saturday, for King and Country. And then we'll be in San Diego for Christmas. So we've got a little bit of traveling to do. So if I have time, we will get some of this done early before I have all those things to do. and hopefully it'll be fun. It'll turn out really good. So we will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.